something and then do a, this is on the current reading that you had. So the way this is really done is you get from scratch. It's not like a Law and Order one episode, dun dun. It's not like that. It takes a long time. So we start from scratch with a problem, and the problems that I get usually come from someone else. Sometimes they're personal, but usually it comes from someone else. So here's the problem for the Army. It's an Army problem as well. Why do they tape you? Because they can't really measure body composition quickly and cost effectively. So tape measure is easy. You can supposedly train someone to tape, but it's actually really hard to tape someone because you need like reference points. And you can feel my reference points here, but not on everybody. But you can call that the iliac crest. It's actually really hard to do. To get a waist circumference measurement, it's hard to do. So in the Army, our goal, and in research, our gold standard is something called a DEXA machine. We have one here. It's in DPE. The other end of post, we're like anchors, DPs. I'm going to be putting this up with my playlist. Department of Pure Evil. We're the other side. Math is the other side. So I always tell Colonel Gist, like, we got it. Both sides. We're going to torture cadets. But this machine here, Colonel Gist runs it, and it will estimate percent body fat for you with the most accuracy. I think it has about 3% when you compare it to the average. So we actually have a measurement, and they do other ways to validate that measurement. But you need a licensed operator, which Colonel Gist is a licensed operator, and the device itself is expensive. It's like $10,000 to $40,000, and then you have maintenance costs. So like we shell out that money because it's important to us. So we do that because percent body fat is an important thing. It's correlated to performance. So we have a whole bunch of reasons why we want this in the Army. We can't do that all the time. Like that's not possible for you to get this. And that's why they do the tape test, which is kind of inaccurate and has a high variance in how people do it. So right now, I don't know if you've heard of these drugs like Wegovy, Ozempic. Have you heard of these? Yeah. So they're like these drugs that are coming out. They're weight loss drugs. And pharmaceuticals are also interested in getting a quick and dirty measurement of percent body fat. And so there are these new technologies that are out there. This one's an old one. I don't know if you've seen it. This is called body impedance analysis. And it uses your total body water. It estimates your total body water with an electric current going through you when you hold it. So there's like these silver things that you hold on to. Sometimes scales have it. I have a scale in my office that has that. They're really inaccurate because if you just been on a run, I love going on a run and standing on my body impedance because I've just lost weight, body fat, which is not real. So there's actually models inside that spit out for you a percent body fat estimate, and they're pretty suspect. You can get it right, but you have to do weird things like you have to do it fasting, don't run, wear mosquitoes, like all kinds of weird stuff. Like places participant, we call that participant burden, in the butt. This device here, I have 3 of them, I think, in my office. So they're new, and they use laser technology. On this particular device, which is called a StyQ, you stand on it, it's like a lazy Susan, you rotate it around, and then it captures 3D, it renders a 3D body image. So this is a former Lieutenant Colonel from our department, has nearly 0% body fat, and it gives you tape testing all the way through the body with a degree of accuracy that you couldn't get in someone who is doing the tape test by the tape measure. And it's going to be the same. So if you tape test you, it's going to be the same as tape testing you because it's a machine doing it. It's not a human. And so the question that industry has, and the Army just used one of these devices too for their latest analysis of body fat in the Army. And the question they had is, what if I took these 2 methods, which are not like the DEXA, but they don't need an operator, special operator, and they don't need a license. The lazy Susan thing lasts about 45 seconds. It's quick. So can I combine these 2 to get an estimate of percent body fat that's accurate? Not just body fat, they also want visceral adipose tissue, belly fat, because belly fat is the one that's correlated to health. So that's what they want. So there's a thing at the National Institutes of Health called the Foundation for the National Institutes of Health, and they wanted to pitch this as an idea. They want to fund it, and we at West Point are part of this. So we're going to industry and other partners and asking for funding to answer these questions. And the FNIH came to me and asked me this question. What is the sample size I need to enroll to verify whether a combination of body impedance, that's that little thing, and the 3D body scans can improve predictions of percent body fat and belly fat? That's what they came and asked. They asked me out of the blue this question. Where are we at on this? They just asked me a question. I'm at the real world. Yeah, that's a real world problem. I just gave you the importance of that real world problem. You should care about it because you don't want a tape test to be done on you if the person's going to be inaccurate with it and get it off. So that's the real world problem. And now they asked me a question about that real world problem that I have to understand. So I'm going to give you an 8-class assignment. I copied back the problem statement, which is what's the sample size. Some of you took statistics, I saw from your info sheets. That statistics course you took was not data driven. I think you're allowed to use your calculator on it, the AP test for that, if you took an AP test. But so this class is not like anything you've ever seen. You don't need to know how to complete the square to do this. It's like, that's kind of nice. Everybody's on a level playing field. So I would like you to work in pairs and just think about what they asked and then translate it in words. What are they asking for? And if you would have any doubts, you want me to come by your group and just say, this is what we think. If you're worried about it being a right or wrong answer, that's fine. I'll come by. You might have to move. Somebody move. You move around. So answer up to 3. I hear actually, you're doing great. Like I'm hearing stuff from the different groups already. I'm going to walk around a little bit more, but. Like, wait, they just be on these. Like, they had already had with each other and so then they asked you, they decided what they wanted. They actually just pitched this.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, they pitched this. The pharmaceuticals are gonna pay for it. We'll take the funding. Yeah. That costs money, right? So, if you're gonna test this, it costs money. You'll probably do it per person, right? So what they do, bottom line. But they don't ask that question. And I have to like go, oh, what they need is this. Yeah. It could be, I think that's the but they ask why. Right. So what do you think? What do you think the clinical people want to test? What would you think they want to do? Right. So
You want to maximize the cost of home therapy.
right. So there's the constraint is the cost, right? So you want to minimize, right? You want to find the allowable cost. Right here. So there's two things going on. Really. So, question I would ask some of the groups, like if this question was asked me, like they brought me on late, and when they brought me on, they had already decided things, and they asked me to do what's called a sample size calculation from statistics. But now I have to translate what they want. So why can't I just say just I can enroll 1 million people? What's wrong with that? It costs money, right? So the people paying for it, they're pitching a project. The people paying for it are going to tell them, we can supply you with this amount of money. What is the fill in the blank?
Maximize the amount of people you have.
That's right. So you're optimizing that, right? Or you can say it another way. What's the minimum amount of people that can enroll here? You can't answer your question. You have to be able to answer the question, right? So what if I say, well, if you want to just minimize the number of people, Just enroll one person. Why is that wrong? It's not enough, right? Like sometimes you're actually going to number 2 and saying, okay, you haven't, if you only minimize and put me in there, well, how's that going to help you or you? It's not going to help you guys, right? So you need some men in there, you need some women in there, you need some people with varying body shapes and sizes, right? You can't just take a bunch of like, let's take the wrestling team. I'm going to take the wrestling team. We're going to. That's not enough, right? You only got to plus the society that has going on. Okay, we'll take the wrestling team and the lacrosse team. The women's lacrosse. Now we got men and women. What's wrong with that? Right, right. Somebody who might take a movie, right? Well, in there to get that question. But then why don't you just take a million people? Well, you can't because constraints. So there's all these things at play. So in that variable question, one, there's something you're trying to optimize. What is it you're trying to optimize? The number of people, right? You want the number of people that meet your cost. But you want the maximum number of people. You also want enough people to answer the question. To like balance out. And then some of the other things that you're putting down, I saw that you want different age ranges. You don't want everybody to be 30 years old. You don't want everybody to be like, so there's different other things that you have to take into consideration when you're Yes. Right. Yeah, the variance. One high variance. And so you want to enroll everybody first and then randomize them. I love your stat class here. Even here, we'll get to do a project. At the end of the semester, you'll get to like choose a project of your own. You can think of really cool things to do to collect data on or to look at. And I have tons of data sources that you can look. If you're interested in human performance, I have tons of athlete data that you can use for that project. Okay, so we should have got to number 3. So what you should have for number 1 is something along the lines of how many people should I enroll? But there should be some backup to that. Like how many people should I enroll? Can I enroll that meets the cost and answers the question, is big enough to answer the question, but small enough to meet the cost. So it's kind of a optimization question that they're asking. Does that make sense? So I'm giving you the Law and Order version of this. Like it takes time to think about what it is they're asking me to do. And then the variables, what do you think the variables should be that for just that balancing question? Not diversity of the sample or anything, just answering that question. So what's the unknown quantity here? Go ahead.
Like the number of participants.
Right.
The body fat percentage like measured, then their actual body fat percentage. And we said like age, weight, gender, etc.
That would be, I think, the next thing. Like, what things would you need about them? Those things, demographics, we call it. But you would probably want also the amount of money that is going to be put up.
So with the overall cost of the experiment, that would be okay.
Yes, exactly. The costs. So like we're actually at that point. They didn't have me there. The body comp people said you should have at least 300 people there. And then the industry came back and said, wait a minute, we're footing the bill for this. Who said? You guys are great, but like we need some math behind that. We don't believe you. So that's when they said, let's bring Dr. Thomas in. That's where I came in. If you're interested in this topic, I don't have any cadets working on it yet. No, I'm supposed to rewrite the sample size calculation for this thing. They gave me till September, so I'm like a cadet. I'm waiting till September to do it. I have other things to worry about right now. So you should have had, I'll look at what you have, but let's go to the next one, the math model, because we're running close to time now. Break up into groups and do 4 and 5 together. So when we do math classes and we talk about talking to people and we send them boards and we tell you to be clear, the audience is all us. It's a fake audience. You're all in the class. So everybody has seen the triangle and everything. The people that are sending me, that's annoying. I'm sorry, the guy who sent me this email is so annoying. So when he sent me this email, like, but the one thing, sometimes I look at those emails and I thought, they don't get it. So I have to really craft the way I talk to them differently. Otherwise, I'm going to get 10 more emails from this guy. So how do I answer the question for him to get it? I'm going to have to do an optimization problem. You guys keep that already. The class stuff that you're doing in class is going to quick me to answer that question. But whatever you're doing in class, he's got class with me. And he's a god in his own right. Right? He's going to send me these emails correcting me. So I have to be able to convey to him the answer to those questions to stop those emails coming at me. So I've got an optimization problem going too. So like, I'm still thinking about where he forwarded me the first email that he wrote. And he asked me if I thought about this question.
So it's just a situation, the same situation that you guys sent the email?
Yes.
What is R2 0 and R2? What's his name?
So R squared is like a line you can get in Excel of how close something is related to something else. So R squared is 0 means there's but now he's like messing with those numbers and you can tell I can tell two things about that email. He's not a messy person. He thinks knows a lot. So like I'll talk to him to the point that I can't like punch him out with that. So it's but that's not. I'm the only mad person on this video. Like he didn't understand like the basics down. So like when I talk to him, I can't talk down. So I gotta talk to him in a certain way. Yeah. Some bullet points or just put arrows. That's fine.
What's the machine?
Gotta make it possible. So that's why we get clinical people involved because they have actually. Somebody asked me in the department. the backside machine to get your body composition. Like, yes, as far as I know, qualified to license to operate. He's an after the story. So we had in the study that I showed you the first day, there were 5 cadets that signed up to get registered by him. They can't get up to get them at 5:30 in the morning, and they didn't show up. Those five out of the list didn't show up. Like, were those the biggest cadets on those? Because I would be really scared of you to not show up. I like have some way for this story to start with super minutes. Now, that's the way you're supposed to do it. Not speaking that. Right.
Yeah.
On board, because if he's on board, we have reviewers and stuff coming next, we're going to work. So that's how finish this up next time. Brad said you don't have to have a lot of problems right now.
I don't have. Oh, you want to do it? That was a weird man. That's for there. Yeah. I only can get the part.
Calm down. My watching me take that there and one guy goes, oh boy, and I said, I'm not gonna play it.
I have a question regarding the problem. So this is the actual problem.
Right.
Granted, so, this one, so they can check probably get this one. Yeah. Oh, okay, sounds like I know.
I need you to work it. So there are numbers like that, if I put 8 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, what am I doing now? Just because then I saw.